everyone, this is People in Power and I'm Summer El Shahad. On today's program, water or gold?
El oro no vamos a comer. Los niños, los adultos, los ancianos no van a comer el oro, señores. Van a tomar el agua.
Like many South American countries, Ecuador has long been an exporter of raw materials, from agricultural produce such as cocoa and bananas to oil, which alone accounts for more than half of its annual earnings. Now, its socialist president, Rafael Correa, believes much additional revenue could be gained by aggressively exploiting other natural resources, particularly gold and other precious metals with which Ecuador is endowed. But many of his countrymen think the cost of this glittering prize could be far too high. Farmers, indigenous groups and environmentalists are campaigning furiously against large-scale mining projects and provisions in a new water law backed by Correa's government. They say the changes will open up pristine rural areas to extraction, pollute critical water supplies and deny local communities control over precious resources. As Bob Abershouse reports, Ecuador may soon have to choose between economic growth or environmental protection.
High in southern Ecuador, between the peaks of the Andes Mountains and the upper forest line, lies a unique wetland ecosystem called Quimsacocha. The clouds that pass through give rise to rivers that have provided water to people and communities down below for centuries. Today, Quimsacocha is threatened by the discovery of gold. Canadian mining companies hold concessions for about 55,000 hectares in the area.
Que esas aguas de Quimsacocha por nada del mundo se llevarán los mineros.
For Carlos Perez and others of indigenous heritage, Quimsacocha is not only their ancestral territory, but a sacred place belonging to Pachamama, Mother Nature.
Y que vive el agua. Que viva. Que viva la Pachamama. Que viva.
Head of an association of community water systems, Perez went to Quimsacocha in May with hundreds of supporters to protest a plan to mine at a site controlled by the Canadian company IM Gold.
Y Taita Dios nos puso a los hombres a probar la inteligencia, a ver qué prefieren. Aquí está el agua y más abajo el oro.
IM Gold wants to construct an underground mine here to tap a 1.5 km mineral deposit containing 2 million ounces of gold.
¿Qué preferimos, compañeras y compañeros? ¿El oro o el agua? ¡El oro!
Perez says the mine would reduce the flow of water to communities downriver and contaminate it, with acid drainage that arises when rock with minerals is broken up and exposed to oxygen and water.
Y hasta ahorita nosotros no queremos que se mezcle con arsénico ni con metales pesados.
From the proposed mine site, the protesters hiked to the hallowed area of Three Lakes, where they held a Pampa Mesa, a communal lunch.
De aquí se va el agua tanto para el Océano Pacífico como para el Océano Atlántico a través del Gran Amazonas.
So this is like a natural sponge that collects the water from the clouds.
Una buena parte de la concesión minera de Ayangol tiene esponjas de agua, tiene mantos acuíferos que permite el nacimiento de aguas. Sin esto que genera agua, no habría nada de agricultura, ni habría las vaquitas, ni la ganadería, ni la leche.
The water from Quimsacocha nourishes a thriving dairy industry in the villages of Victoria del Portete and Tarqui, where Rosa Muñoz lives.
Aquí cogemos en el balde para los animales. Este es el agua que viene de Quimsacocha. De aquí sale.
So you really fear that you won't be able to make a living if they do mining up there?
No sé en qué poder trabajar, a dónde podremos irnos, porque estas tierras ya no volverán a valer, igual el agua ya no podremos tomar.
Indigenous and campesino communities who depend on Quimsacocha for water have been fighting since 2004 to keep mining out. And they say when Socialist President Rafael Correa campaigned here, he promised there wouldn't be any mining near the headwaters of rivers they depend on for dairy farming, agriculture, and everyday life. But now they're locked in a battle over two very different visions of development and the country's future.
Hoy tenemos una nueva época en Ecuador, un nuevo gobierno que sabrá hacer respetar ese medio ambiente y sabrá dirigir la minería para el bien común, compatriotas.
In 2009, President Correa fought hard to get a new mining law passed that would allow large-scale mining in Ecuador for the first time.
Probablemente Ecuador tenga la reserva de cobre más grande del mundo. Lo mismo con el oro. Por supuesto, a todos nos duele ver que tal vez un cerro sea cortado con tanta vegetación, biodiversidad. ¿Acaso no será más inmoral dejar esos recursos tan necesarios para nuestro desarrollo, para nuestra educación, para nuestra salud?
La minería no necesariamente es indispensable para el desarrollo ecuatoriano.
Alberto Acosta was president of the Constituent Assembly that wrote Ecuador's new 2008 constitution. Before that, he served as Correa's first Minister of Mines and Petroleum.
Ecuador ha sido un país cacautero, país bananero, país floricultor, país camaronero, país petrolero. ¿Creemos ahora que los problemas se van a resolver volviéndonos un país minero? Yo creo que no, porque vamos a mantener nuestra inserción sumisa en el mercado internacional.
Acosta argues that the new 2009 mining law is a threat to Ecuador's Magna Carta.
Que en la Constitución se establece una priorización. El agua en primer lugar es para consumo del ser humano. El agua en segundo lugar es para la agricultura, todo lo que tiene que ver con la soberanía alimentaria. En la ley de minería se da demasiada prioridad a la actividad minera, lo cual puede